Manchester, the city of football. Or so we thought. Surprisingly, Manchester is more well known in the UK as the city of tech, where the first computer was invented by Alan Turing, the father of computer science. And today, some people call this the Silicon Valley of the UK. How did Manchester rise to become such a prominent and influential city? Let's find out!
Tech, football, entrepreneurship, the arts and culture. All these that make Manchester stand out have one thing in common. It's people. But before we dive deeper, let's find out why Mancunians love their city so much.
What do you love about Manchester?
It's a very beautiful city. I love the house and the architecture.
There's so many independent shops and restaurants and bars. There's so much personality to it. It's just completely unique.
Getting to different parts of the city is very easy.
There's so many different places you can go from Manchester, which is brilliant.
Different people.
Yeah, there's so many different people from different cultures.
The diversity is so nice here.
I've only been here for 2 months. I already feel like I want to dye my hair and get piercings.
Oh, this is nice! What do you like about Manchester?
Well, we're here to see Harry Styles tomorrow.
So you came here specifically just to listen to them?
Yeah.
Great football, beautiful architecture, accessibility, diversity, and Harry Styles concerts. Is that all to Manchester's appeal?
We all know Manchester for football, but there's so much people do not know about Manchester. So tell me, what does the world not know about Manchester?
I think there's so much that people would be surprised about this city. Obviously it is famous for football, but it actually has one of the best music scenes in the country, if not the world. Everything from indie to pop music to some of the best dance music scenes that you'll find anywhere around the globe are all based here. And also some incredible new businesses, startups. People who have brilliant ideas are starting those businesses here in Manchester. So it's growing rapidly in terms of the business output and the cultural output at the same time.
That was a very well put together professional description of Manchester. But how is it actually like on the streets? Let's approach some less professional looking people.
So what do you guys do? You look really young.
Oh, you flatter me.
You can stay.
Oh, I can see! What are you working as?
Business analyst.
You're a business analyst? So you're really good at numbers and data?
Yeah, give me a spreadsheet any day. Yeah.
And how about you? Are you a fire artist?
It's part-time, so a
Okay.
little bit, but I'm also a project manager.
Project manager? In where?
I work for a data company, so they hoover up sales data.
So you work in a tech company?
Yeah,
You in tech?
I know, right? That's what they said at my interview as well.
Looks like everyone in Manchester is in tech.
What do you guys think about the tech scene in Manchester? Why are businesses coming over here and the tech scene is thriving?
I mean, a lot of tech has moved out of London.
Yeah.
A lot of big business has moved out of London just because it's so expensive there. And Manchester has had a lot of local development as well. So we've had Salford Quays, where we've got the BBC.
Yeah.
Which used to be down in London, which is now up here.
I firmly believe that was the catalyst of the current Manchester development starting. The first big step was the BBC moving Media City and developing our Media City. That sparked everything out. There was not a single modern skyscraper in Manchester until that happened. That was the first domino that fell, which started what we're in now. And then a huge industry developed just purely around the BBC and servicing that. So the emergence of editing studios, anything to do with film and support industries, that all grew around the BBC being here.
So I've heard before that Manchester is one of the top 5 destinations for talent and digital cities within Europe.
Why do you think so?
The opportunities here for talent, but also for infrastructure as well. So we have a good level of infrastructure, whether that connectivity, bricks and mortar infrastructure.
So as a result, we seem to be getting quite a lot of boom as well. In my employers, we work with lots of local smaller businesses, particularly in tech, and we find that there's constantly new competition springing up all the time, which is really exciting.
I've lived here for 40 years. It was very different back then. I've seen it grow from quite a depressed city back then to something that's a very exciting place to live.
The amount of companies that come in is pretty amazing. This whole building is sold out. It shows you that there's lots of talent and lots of potential for acquisition of students.
With the thriving scene in tech, Manchester experiences a boom in another not so unexpected area: entrepreneurship.
Speaking about the growing entrepreneurship community in Manchester, tell us how it all began.
Going back to 2017 and 18, the Northwest was one of the easiest places in Europe to get significant funding if you were in any sort of tech industry. There was the Northern Powerhouse Fund, it was an EU initiative. And there was UK and EU money, and that was given, so local VC firms had access to that.
Wow, so it's easy to start a business and everyone was motivated to start a business.
Yes, so there's a lot of organisations such as Pro Manchester and Manchester Digital. So they will support entrepreneurs, they will support new businesses and kind of growing businesses.
But more than government support, what is the real secret sauce to Manchester's entrepreneurship scene?
It's just the cost of living. Living here is significantly cheaper than the equivalent of living in Zone 1 London.
The best bits of London, a lot of them you can find here, and it's a more accessible place for people.
People in Manchester are very down to earth, and I think that transcends not just from kind of human to human interaction, but also with businesses as well. So I think businesses are willing to help out other businesses if that's kind of the right thing to do. And I think
it's beautiful, isn't it? Like you help each other and you grow together.
Yeah, and it creates this ecosystem within Manchester and the kind of contacts that you have by kind of helping other businesses.
The Manchester Bee is a symbol of the city's industriousness, creativity, and entrepreneurship. It represents the work ethic and innovative spirit that built this great city and drives its success.
There's a lot of young people here, a lot of ambitious, entrepreneurial people, very smart people, people who really believe in themselves, and people who want to work with other people, find that business partner, find that source of inspiration for your next creative project. It's all here. And there's spaces like the one that we work in, Colony, where you will be able to be around like-minded people who are in the same boat, they understand the problems you're going through and the challenges you'll face in those early days. Everybody wants to see each other succeed, so they'll help you out. And while you're doing that, you can meet other people, meet other businesses, find mentors, and really kickstart your business.
World-class footballers, coders, techies, entrepreneurs, and programmers. No wonder Manchester's economy is booming. But there's one more thing Manchester has to offer. Its hidden world of arts and culture. How is the art scene like in Manchester?
The creative scene, I would say, in Manchester is quite underground.
It is really upcoming here. I think people miss out on the opportunities of Manchester.
I think the most notable creative scene to talk about is music. I have never been to a concert in Manchester.
Why? But the music scene is big.
You can never get a ticket to anything in Manchester. People in this city are obsessed with going to concerts. I have tried so many times. There's been so many occasions where bands or DJs I love or artists I love are doing UK tours. The first one to sell out is Manchester.
It has a very vibrant creative scene, and it's because it's a melting pot of all sorts of different cultures and backgrounds, and people come here from all over the world. So you get inspiration and ideas from a huge range of different influences and great pieces of work and art. It feels like you can be inspired just by walking down the street.
Art, fashion, music, and then there's a lot of pop-up art galleries that come in all the time,
The whole city is taken up by creatives for different art and theatre installations. So it's all just about arts, culture, film, fashion, entertainment.
What makes people in Manchester so creative?
I think we have more of a hunger and a drive within anything that they do.
People now are more hungry to explore and go for what we want.
Like up here, we have so many opportunities, we just need to display them all.
So we are the hungry bees.
We are the hungry bees,
exactly.
exactly.
Yes, with a buzz.
With a buzz.
With a buzz.
And finally, I found the secret sauce to Manchester's success, which was right in front of me all along. It's people.
It's all the communities and the culture that comes with that contribute to make the place great. And Manchester has it all. There's everything from great music to arts to football, and people who are driven and ambitious for finding how to launch their own businesses here at spaces like Colony.
I think people here are still determined and driven, but also value their work and their life. You have then this creation of kind of driven individuals that are still able to kind of enjoy their life outside of that.
It's a big city, but it's not that big, and I feel like everyone somehow knows each other, or knows them of a friend, and they're always helpful. I love that about Manchester most, it's definitely people.
I love the people here, they're so sweet.
You can just talk to anyone, you can see other people living their lives here, which is another fascinating thing about Manchester. This just adds more to the city and the quality of life you can have here.
We all support each other, And there's so many communities being created in here.
It's just so nice to feel accepted.
I shared all my friends, and back in while I was in London, I was the most weird one. But now I'm like, oh shit, I'm now the tame one.
You are
tame.
tame. Yeah.
So that's why I love Manchester.
Amazing. You can be yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. With its reasonable cost of living, an appealing infrastructure for entrepreneurship, and a flourishing climate for innovation and creativity, Manchester is not only a clear choice for large companies, startups, artists, and sportsmen, but also great for living in. And that is why I believe Manchester has risen with prominence, becoming the next Silicon Valley of UK and voted third best city to live in the world. Join me as I explore the cities around the world, creating investment-driven travel content, looking at economics on an international scale and its on-ground impact. To learn more about how to invest into the best cities worldwide, click here for more resources. La 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 la.